Hello, and welcome back to another episode. This will be the third episode of Talking Politics. And my name is Nick. And where I left off on the last episode was on Hillary Clinton and the scandals that she was caught up in or created. And my thoughts and ideas of her trying to run for president again. You might be thinking, that's old news. That was a long time ago. And it was. But in order to get to the current situation, sometimes you have to look back at the past. And that's kind of what that was. It was about basically the Obama administration using a spy program that basically started with the Bush administration, Bush Jr. I say Bush Jr. even though he's not a junior technically, but the son of Bush, who started spying on U.S. citizens. And then Obama criticized Bush, and then Obama started spying on U.S. citizens, and then Obama used that same program to spy on Trump with the NSA and CIA and FBI. And so that brings us kind of up to date of where we are. That's part of what the Democrats used to spy on Trump. A lot of people, they criticize Trump for saying that Obama spied on him. And a lot of people don't understand that, especially the younger generation who was not around, technically not around because they were either children or not born yet, during the time when the Bush and Obama generation was spying on U.S. citizens. People that were here and paid attention back then to the administrations, both of them, spy on U.S. citizens. They understand that it's possible and probable, more than probable, that Obama spied on Trump. Which brings us up to date. How would you feel if Trump did the same thing to his predecessor, to the Biden administration, if you found out today that Trump used the NSA and CIA and FBI to spy on Biden when Biden was campaigning for president? You probably would be upset about that, right? Of course, when they were looking into the Ukraine about Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden, oh, well, the Democrats were absolutely obsessed about that. They tried to impeach him for doing that, for spying on Biden, for looking into Biden, for investigating the crimes of Hunter Biden with Ukraine and China, the money he was making off China, and this computer that had supposedly had child pornography on Hunter Biden's computer. All that stuff that's being suppressed by the Democrats as the Democrats ruthlessly for the last, almost 5 years have been campaigning and basically at a political war against Trump. The Democrats have used vast resources. They've had to pay a lot of people off to attack Trump. CNN has got to have spent millions, if not a billion. They spent millions on attacking Trump 24/7, coming up with many catchphrase words. Before, a long time ago, was Trump sunk to an all-time new low, or something like that, constantly on a regular basis. Trump hit another new low. Now, their favorite catchphrase is the big lie, especially when talking about January 6th, that they're trying to frame or blame Trump for on January 6th. The Democrats want to make a big deal out of it. And I'm not saying it's not a big deal, January 6th, but when I get to January 6th, I'm like, you know what? For many months, the supporters of the Democrats were rioting, demonstrating against Trump. They basically practically surrounded the White House, or at least the front side of the White House, to where Trump had to call out National Guard and troops and police officers to protect the White House. Otherwise, they probably would have overran the White House just like they did in D.C. with the Capitol. They probably would have the Democrats would have overran the White House if they probably could. But there was a lot of protection for the White House. That's a great big symbol too, right? So is the D.C. Capitol. So is the White House. But the thing is, with all these riots, police officers were killed during those riots too. They were attacked relentlessly, those demonstrators. And the Democrats called them peaceful protesters. Yeah, there's a few bad ones out there, a few instigators. But the Democrats want to completely ignore those riots. Trump used the word, I want to say, fight? A couple of times, a few times. Well, the Democrats used the word fight a lot as well. But they want to criticize Trump for using the word fight, but the Democrats used it a lot. And they incited a lot of violence with their supporters. But of course, it's bad if Trump does what the Democrats do. The Democrats constantly say that Trump is not above the law. But when it boils down to it, the Democrats break the same rule or break the same law on a regular basis. They tried ever since January 16th. They did their personal best to deny and impede and stop Trump with no matter what he did. Everything he did, they tried to block him. They tried to block Trump's cabinet picks to where Trump ultimately ended up having a lot of acting positions, acting this and acting that. He didn't really have that many permanent positions. Now, today, that Biden is in there, the Republicans are doing their best to do to Biden what the Democrats did to Trump as far as blocking Biden's picks. And I think that's fair. Biden did it to Trump, so the Republicans are doing it to the Democrats, blocking their picks. And they're trying to act like, oh my God, this is horrible. Okay? So, all this stuff, what goes around comes around, right? And now that Trump is thinking about, I guess, I don't know, about running again for 2022, and he definitely has my vote if he does. But he's thinking about running for 2020, and the Democrats are furious. They are scared. They are devastated. They don't know what to do. They have spent millions of dollars attacking Trump. CNN has spent so much airtime attacking Trump, and they are absolutely scared. Anyway, so I'm going to put an end to this episode. You have a good day.